It's been a busy day so far, which is good. Let's see, just making sure we have good audio. Looks good.
Hey David, how's it going? I had, at the end of the year stuff, I'm just grateful you're offering a Zoom option. Sometimes people don't. Um, COVID is high right now and other infections, and I really have to be cautious because the last thing I want to have happen is be down for 3 weeks and I can't help anybody. Kind of puts my service in a bad position. So I'm grateful that at least BCM is providing a hybrid option. Uh, a lot of people still kind of think, if you don't show up, you're not really doing your advocacy work, and that's not true for me. Okay. Oh, no problem. I'm a face on a wall, huh? Oh, cool. Hey, that's a good setup. Nicely done. Yeah. It's better than what most people are able to offer on a Zoom meeting, so thank you. I will mute so I'm not like the Wizard of Oz in the room. Quick question, did you invite CIL? This would have been a good op. Hey, I'm also a borper, so there you go. Excellent. No, I am glad people are reaching out. It's about time. It's like there's an opportunity here to invest in community media. So keep the money where the orgs are actually, it's not like it's a professional job done at a price community can afford. So you want that in community, don't you? That's what I say. Is Becky zooming too? Melanie! Woo-hoo! I'm like the Wizard of Oz on the wall. Can you hear me? I'm like the Wizard of Oz on the wall. I'm the Wizard of Oz on the wall. Oh, where's Becky? Hey, Becky, are you on? Hey, Becky. Yeah, that was my little joke because that's what I took my mic off when you were walking by. Couldn't help it. That's all right.
A cacophony. What? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good to see you. I wish I was there. Yeah, I'm home. I have a crackling fire behind me in the fireplace. Can you hear it? Crackle, crackle. Yeah, right behind you. See? Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. It was, and oh, oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, you did. I was accessing it, and you did a wonderful job in editing. I have to tell you, it's just beautiful. Yeah, you did. You did good. You did good. Yes. Oh no, it looks cute. It looks really cute. It's a little different. Well, no, but then you might be too much. But see that little hang down and okay. Okay, go ahead. Do what you have to do, Melanie. Hi.
Don't mingle.
Dan, hi. I love you. Have you been, Helen? Have you been?
I've been good. I was able to get to the 30th. I was late. I was at a Borp hiking event and we got back later, but I did get to see Winston. I tried to touch base with everybody, but I just couldn't find everybody. I'm low vision, but it looked like a wonderful crowd and looked like you all were having a good time. So everybody seemed to be really happy with it all. So thumbs up.
Good, good, good. Thank you so much.
All right, folks, we'll get started here in just a while. We're just waiting on our board chair, Winston.
Hi. I'm here sitting in front of my fireplace. See my fireplace?
Is that, do
Yeah.
you have a real
I
fire
have a
going?
fire going there. Yeah, I do. A real fire.
She's crackling.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I sleep in the living room in the winter. Oh, that's great. Okay, FYI, well, I'll turn off my
Are
microphone.
you guys going live yet? Should we zip ourselves? Oh. So are we live now? Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello, everybody.
We're the heads on here, yeah. All right.
Yay.
All right.
Okay. Hi, Winston. Hi, Winston. Hi, Winston. It's Becky Joe.
All right, folks, we have a board quorum now, so if we can have you find your seats, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever you need, and we'll get started with our annual member meeting.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, everybody, to BCM's 2024 annual member meeting, where we wrap up what we've been doing for the year, tell you all what BCM's been up to, what we're doing in the future, and all the fun things that we get into. To start us off, I'd like to invite up our board chair, Winston, to start our meeting, or the board meeting, yeah. Yeah. Well, you can come up at the end, too.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you here, And one of the things I want to try to do at the beginning of the year is that we've had some interesting things happen at the new election. And I would like to get a meeting with the mayor to find out what her priorities are. So I'd like for you all to give me some priorities that you would like me to talk to with me and David when I schedule a meeting with it. One of my issues that I like to deal with right now, I want the mayor to address, is homelessness out front of our building. And what can we do about it, and how can we change it? Because we can't stop it, but how can we change what's happening? And if you notice across the street, they fenced off the whole Civic Center Park because they don't want them over there, but they're over here. And if people were to keep these neat and tiny encampments that I've heard about, but I've rarely heard seen, that's one thing. But this is not neat and tidy. So I want to get you all to let me know, and maybe David could write down your responses to what you would like us to ask the new mayor about the issues in Berkeley that are going on. Have you got something you could write on? Okay. Okay, sure. So go ahead. What's your name? Give me your name. Okay, Liz. How you doing? Well, can you write down what people? Who, right. So here's this, David, if you want. Okay. Okay, so fixing the lights is something that you would like to see happen in the community in the next year. Right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Is it Liz? Thank you. Anybody else have a comment on what they would like us to share with the mayor? Okay, Harold, speak up for me.
I just saw a really great documentary on Dorothy Day that BCM produced. I encourage everybody to see the documentary. It's on homelessness in other cities. There's interrelating with homelessness situation. Dorothy Day did a wonderful job. I'm not so much endorsing Dorothy Day. They're doing great things. But the documentary is incredible. Everybody should see the documentary and then make a decision on what you think after seeing the documentary should be done.
And how do you access this documentary? How do you access it?
Yeah. So like Winston's saying, this has been probably one of the largest issues BCM has had to deal with this year, and not only BCM but Bay Area as a whole. Homelessness is everywhere whenever we look around. So the documentary that Harold's talking about is Dorothy's Way, which BCM actually produced over the last 2 years with a partnership with Dorothy Day House, the nonprofit which services the homeless community here in Berkeley. They're actually running the winter shelter right across the hall from us. So, we interviewed from Mayor Jesse Araguin to people who were previously homeless themselves about just what is being done by Berkeley to address it. So if you search Dorothy's Way, you can find a link to the video, which is going to be on Vimeo. We had a premiere of it, when was it, October the 29th? So yeah, you can watch it for as little as $1, but if the price point is something you don't want to pay, just let me know and I can give you a copy for free. That's going to be coming out next year on Dorothy Day's website. To address the light, that actually just happened, and I think the city turned that light off because someone had tapped into the electrical of that light outside. So it was a little bit of a danger thing. Yes.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yep. Yeah. Well, it was just more so that they had just kind of jury-rigged it, like with some random wires into their line. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a question for the city, yeah. Yeah.
So does anybody else have any other topics they would like us to share with the new mayor? Do all of you know who the new mayor is? Her name is Adina, and she won, and Sophie Hahn and Kate Harrison were on the council, but so it was a big surprise to a lot of people that Adina was elected as our new mayor. So as a new mayor, I've worked with the old mayor, Jesse, since he was a teenager, so I had a lot of response with him and the council members, but I haven't had a lot of interaction with Adina. I invited her to our NAACP meetings. I'm the vice chair of the NAACP in Berkeley, and she came and she spoke, and Kate Harrison spoke, and Sophie spoke, Well, I haven't talked to her since then. So does anybody have any other issues besides homelessness that you would like us to talk about with the new mayor? If not, I'll tell you, I'll just take over the meeting and tell her what I'm worried about. Go ahead, Errol.
So homelessness is a three-pronged issue. I think it involves drug and alcohol addiction programs, detox programs, and also mental health programs. I think the city's done a really good job on mental health programs because now there's several clinics in the city of Berkeley, and I think Jessie Ardeen did that. But I'd like to get her response on how she intends to work with those programs and continue them to be as strong and better. That's it, basically. So mental health programs and drug and alcohol detox programs, that's all.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Duran.
Duran, okay,
Garcia.
thank you.
I was a Catholic worker for 26 years.
Okay.
7 of those, well, 6.5 years full-time in San Francisco at Martin DePore's house of hospitality on 16th and Potrero. So I know a little bit about the homeless because I work with them almost on a daily basis for many years, since 1993. And I know that it's really important detox centers because San Francisco closed down the St. Vincent de Paul Detox Center. And a lot of the guests at Martin's didn't have a place to go, and that was a free detox center. So I think your subjects were right on. They're very, very pertinent. That's all. I just wanted to reiterate that, and give my support to what you're saying.
So your suggestion is that we talk to the mayor about detox centers and how to get them happening and get them reopened and make them work. For you, I just want to share with you all, for 25 years I worked at a place called BOSS, Building Opportunities for Self-Sufficiency. We ran the largest programs for homeless and low-income people in Alameda County, and they still exist today at the 4th and Harrison Street. So for 25 years I worked there working with homeless people. And one of the things I like to share was, in my opinion, and people think it's radical, I call people, they were the have-nots, the can-nots, and the will-nots. And the have-nots are people, if you give them some money, some training, that they can get off their feet and improve their conditions and get out of being homeless. But then you got the have-nots, people who have mental health issues and drug issues, which stop them from being able to take care of what they're doing and what's happening. But then you got the will-nots, people that will not want to go into a program that has hours and conditions, that will not want to go indoors, they'd rather stay outdoors. And that's a group of people that's really hard to address and deal with, especially when they're saying, when people come out to talk to them, like I used to do, because I used to help people find jobs for 25 years. Actually, let me tell you a quick story. 3 weeks ago, I was crossing the street, and the bus driver started honking at me. I said, "What the hell are you honking at me for?" And I looked up at him, and he leaned out, and he said, "Hey, Winston, hey, Winston." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm still working. I still got a job. I got this guy a job like 15 years ago." And he was like, "Hey, I'm still hanging in there." So sometimes the thing you do lasts longer than an hour. Anybody else have to share, okay?
Hi, my name is Sally Baker, and I've been producing a TV show for children called We Poets for the past 40 years, for the past 15 years here at Berkeley Community Media. And Berkeley Community Media has always been a safe place for me to bring children. I bring children between the ages of 6 and 13, and it's always been safe. But the past few years, it's become not safe, and parents don't want to bring their children here, and I can't blame them, all the tents out in front, but I feel sorry for these people that have to sleep in these tents.
Right.
But I have to have a safe place for parents to bring their children, and for the children to feel safe too, because the children come here and they see these homeless people out there, and it takes a toll on them physically and emotionally. So I would like to see something done where we can find these people places so they don't have to camp out here and the children don't have to come and see them like that.
Okay, so we should address this when we have our meeting with the new mayor, right? Sure. Anybody else have anything that they would like us to share with the new mayor or find
My
out
hand's
about?
up.
We got someone on the Zoom. Stand by. All right. Yes, Helen. Here, let me make you full screen. All right, please go for it.
I just wanted to say I'm me and the group outside that are there, a bunch of people. The city of Berkeley didn't provide any hot food for Thanksgiving. It was the community itself outside that did. So kind of get to know your neighbors. The inclement weather shelter here in Berkeley only has 25 beds at a first come, first serve. So I suggest maybe to talk to the mayor about improving the inclement winter shelter, which is Maudel Schreck building. Also, when I called Boss, and I do, and they, not Boss, Dorothy Day House, they're amazing. Their beds are all filled up, so they don't really have any room. So part of what we need to do is work together as a community. The persons outside also are doing what they can to work with the city on what the needs are. So their voice is out there saying, look, we need more beds and we need this. I do understand that there's not enough lighting and this type of stuff, and we need to work on that together. I think it's kind of like we have to make a sandwich here, because my experience with the unhoused that I got to meet, and I meet on a day-to-day basis, they're wonderful people, and I just want to raise up their voices here as being part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Anybody
you,
else
Helen.
have any comments to make it? Otherwise, we can move along.
Roger.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Roger. All
Okay,
right.
nice to
I'm
meet you.
a ex-building manager and a homeless person for 10 years and
Mhm.
a veteran. I'm kind of concerned about a couple things, but the primary thing around homelessness that I think is of concern is what are they doing in terms of the city doing this new law around sweeps and not returning property. There was a Berkeley side article, I think, last week that mentioned sweeps out in West Berkeley, and that there was no evidence that the people that were out there got anything other than a sweep and a ticket. And if the city of Berkeley is carrying through that new Supreme Court case, that's pretty serious, and maybe an alternative might be thought out for Berkeley to that, and whether they're actually carrying that out, of course.
So you want us to talk about sweeps, talking with? Okay.
The Supreme Court case recently to just, come in and let police sweep people off the street and not have a place for them, and also take their property. Yeah, so that's like, is that proper for Berkeley, and whether they should have a better policy?
Okay. So my plan is to call the mayor's office tomorrow and schedule a meeting to talk about the issues that you brought up and any other issues that we might have, because the city of Berkeley is our largest funder of Berkeley community media. And I don't know if you all know that we film all the city council meetings on channel 33 on the first Tuesday of the month. So you don't have to go to the city council meetings. You can stay home, turn on channel 33 and watch us film it and record it as well. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
Just the last thing I want to say. Because I saw the Dorothy Day documentary, there are good things being done in the city of Berkeley.
Oh,
What
yeah.
I'm suggesting to ask the mayor, though, is what she's doing to cooperate with San Francisco and Alameda County, because homelessness is everywhere. It's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
on our doorstep. It's everywhere. And we have to understand, and look, I'm speaking to the choir, you all know that.
Right.
Everything I'm saying, you understand. But we have to ask the mayor what she's planning to do to cooperate with San Francisco and work with San Francisco and work with Oakland and all Alameda County areas to make the situation a resolution to this. It can be solved. There's really smart people at UC Berkeley. I'm not saying we're not smart, but there's scholars at UC, and they have a plan to take it to the next level and help people that are homeless get into shelter or get food and get all these things they need. So that's one question I'd ask her: is how is she planning to work with San Francisco, the mayor, and how is she planning to work with Oakland? Because they go from one place to another place. I hate to use the phrase whack-a-mole, but moles are beautiful creatures, and I would never hit a mole. But I'm saying the big picture is it's everywhere, and we have to address it as a huge situation everywhere, not just in our city. And if we work with other cities, maybe they can come to some resolution and bring it down to a humane level. Okay? That's
Victor, would you give?
Yes. So here's one thing I've noticed. I ride my bike a lot over in Marin County, and in San Rafael, what they have done, they've done two things. One, they're doing a pilot program where they have built they're like tents. The San Rafael has paid to have tents for homeless people. They give them a bathroom. They have a place to wash. It's something with dignity. But the downside is that there's not, as always, there's never enough to go around for the volume of people that are still homeless. So the downside is they're taking these impromptu campsites, they're sweeping them off the street. And what I'm noticing, you don't notice if you're just driving your car, but as I ride my bicycle, now there's crops of people popping up, just sleeping next to a lamppost. They're stretched out on the sidewalk because now they've been displaced from those camps that were deemed illegal. So it's, like you say, the whack-a-mole thing. You kick these people out where they were in a stationary, temporary place. Now they're just roaming the streets. And this is in San Rafael, Marin County. They have the same problem up in Novato. So I'm just saying, if there's some way that Berkeley could maybe, I know we have the day program and other things, but maybe if they could somehow facilitate building, even if it's a temporary shelter with tents and it's a controlled access, getting in and out like what they're doing, this pilot program in San Rafael, have bathrooms, place to wash. I think they even have some electricity. Anything would be better than what's going on out in front at this point. So that's what I have to say, if you can address that with the mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay, so me and David are going to see if we can share your opinions and thoughts and see if we can come back with some answers, or if we don't have any answers, just come back with some more conversation. Okay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's a huge issue, and it's ongoing. Can I have my clipboard back? This has my notes on it. And I know during the, just on, what day is today, Monday? On Friday, there was the swearing-in ceremony for the incoming city council, and I know that whenever Mayor Ishii was doing her welcome speech, she was saying homelessness is one of her top issues. So, yeah, which is on our YouTube channel if anyone wants to see what was being said by the new city council members and new mayor who are coming in. So my hope is that there's a lot of positive movement towards helping folks, because we're all a community, right? These are our neighbors. So, okay, but back to BCM business, just because we could keep talking about the other issue for a long, long time. So, welcome to Berkeley Community Media. We're so happy to have our community in-house today to be part of this meeting and just hear updates of where we're at and what we're doing. So report, this has been a good year. We had a lot of big events and a lot of movement. Starting with, we were the recipients of 2 WAVE Awards at the last WAVE Awards ceremony in, where was the last? In Sacramento. which was a really nice one. We had a 48-hour film festival that was really successful. Our Halloween festival, as always, which I'm sure Melanie will talk a little bit more about in a bit, was a great success. We had our 30-year anniversary this year, which is huge for a nonprofit organization like ours. That was took place down at the Ed Roberts campus, right across from the Ashby BART station, and it was a really nice time. There was live music and pozole and snacks, and we were able to, yeah, it was good, right? And we were able to honor some of our longtime producers, Sally. Woo! Let's see. We also had our documentary premiere, like we were mentioning. Dorothy's Way is the documentary that BCM produced in partnership with the Dorothy Day House. And just from working on that, I can tell you that the situation has changed significantly from when we started production of the documentary in 2022 till now. So it's an ongoing situation that, you know, it doesn't seem like it's getting better. However, I can say through listening to some of the subject matter experts that at least in Berkeley, the numbers of homeless is going down steadily. So there are great nonprofits like Dorothy Day House who are working to help folks out of that situation. Let's see. Like Winston mentioned, we live streamed almost every single one of our local government political debates. There was only one Zoom one that we didn't get, but only because they didn't reach out to us. Maybe they didn't know how to reach out to us or what. But other than that, we did 7 local government debates, from the mayoral candidate debates to the different city council district debates. So I'm really happy to see that local politics and democracy is alive and well here at BCM, due in no small part to the efforts of our staff and the folks who are part of our government. Additionally, we have one new class that we did this last year, which we haven't done before, which was media literacy, which I know a lot of our classes, they're going towards the most cutting edge side of technology, but this one was just to get people the basics of how to use a computer in case they didn't know. So it was a really useful class for our folks. I have much more to tell y'all, but I don't want to take up the entire time just talking, so I want to give space for some of the staff to come up and say how it's been going. So Melanie, would you join us up here? Cool. I'll give you the stage.
I'm glad we got the memo on the vest look tonight. It's like a cozy vibe. Right, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Melanie Menzel, and I've been with BCM since 2009 as a member producer. And basically, my mom paid for my membership, and I took the classes with one of my high school graduate friends, and the rest is history. No, I fell in love with filmmakers, and I fell in love with BCM because I could see the power that it has to educate and to put the equipment in people's hands that can help them share their voices more broadly. And so I'm really happy that we've had such success this year with our film festivals. We had for the 48-hour Filmmaker Challenge, which is just, you know, people come off the street or, you know, within our organization and get the clues on Friday and write, shoot, and edit a film and show it on Sunday. And we've been so lucky to have a partnership with Harold Adler to be able to have a venue without having our studio of our own, and hopefully future plans for that venue, the new venue someday will be a studio for us. And then, you know, I think we had like 7 films, and one of our other partnerships is Visit Berkeley, and they have these new electronic kiosks that have enabled us to have a further outreach, and that's my job, is outreach. So I do the social media, and I do a lot of the newsletters. If you hear my voice in the newsletter, hear it now. Think about it when you're reading it. I'm not using AI, though I like using AI. That's me. And then, so anyway, we're reaching out further and further, and we are hoping that our members can tell their friends, and their friends can tell their friends, that we're here and we're able to help them and make their dreams come true with video production. So we also have the Horror Film Festival, which I want to say we had 14 films and I was able to make a film in each of those film festivals, as well as produce the festival with my co-producer, Moby. So it was a big year for film, but also for our classes. So I don't know if we're going to talk about that at some, is now the time? Yeah. Okay, so we're trying to map out what we're going to be teaching also this coming year. And we're starting with podcasting because that seems to be fairly popular still. And that's taught by Scott Sinclair, who has a very excellent, succinct, methodology for teaching, and then follow it, and you'll be able to get your podcast out into the world even, because he has some nice world experience with 2 podcasts I think he has of his own, and he's not here tonight.
He was going to come, but
Okay.
I think he got
Okay.
waylaid.
Ah.
But yeah, his podcast was
Yeah.
actually really successful this last year. I want to say it was in the top 5% of podcasts played. So yeah, congrats, Scott.
Amazing. Congrats, Scott. So then we're going to be teaching media literacy again, field production, podcasting, field production. So podcasting, field production, media literacy, studio production in our small studio with the TriCaster Mini and Sling Studio, and then the 2 forms of editing, which are Adobe Premiere and Final Cut. Am I leaving it? Yeah, then we do it again. And then we have other master classes. So we're working on, like, maybe every other month, working on different topics. Like Duran actually was one of our more exciting masterclass teachers, where we learned the art of fight choreography, and we got to practice play hitting each other for the camera. So I'm excited about our upcoming year and about how we can connect and so, inspire each other. Yeah. Anybody have any questions? How can you get involved? How can you get your friend? When are the next classes? It's all going to be on our website. So far we have the podcasting is scheduled for the end of January, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So hopefully you have a happy holidays, and you can also submit content. That's the other way that you can connect with us besides taking classes, is you can submit to the channel and have it broadcast on channel 28. Okay. Thanks.
All right, let's give it up for Melanie.
Pass it over. Thanks.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off what Melanie was saying, please do submit content. It can be anything. It can just be, hey, I'm walking around in the morning. It's a beautiful morning. Just capture, 30 seconds to a minute on your phone even, and send it to us. We'd love to see it. I've been encouraging local artists to do time lapses of their art and then put a little watermark in the corner so people can find them. Yes, question.
I did a thing where I did a demonstration of analog recording with a 16-track machine and melding it with digital audio as well. And I put that on YouTube, and it's gotten a huge response. So is that something I could send in to you guys?
We would love that.
Okay. Then that I shall do.
Yeah. And speaking of, say you already have content and you're like, oh, I have all these mini DV tapes that are just sitting in my garage, and I'm looking at my buddy Roger over here, because he actually came to us this last year with boxes and boxes of mini DV tapes, and he's been using our facilities to digitize them. And I think they've been getting a lot of interest from some local natural historian organization. Yeah, here, I'll give you I'd love for you to tell them about your project, because I think it's so cool.
All right, once again, my name is Roger. This came out of the blue. I was at a Berkeley hearing about Cesar Chavez Park. You may know that they were concerned about radiation at the park. And so that hearing in late September, and I asked a couple of questions they didn't like. But after that, this guy, older guy, came up to me and said, "How do you know so much about the park?" I said, "Well, I spent maybe 10 years videotaping, my spare time, Cesar Chavez Park. And if you've been out there, it's just a walk around, very, very pretty, and nice place to slow down for an hour or whatever." So, I had a reasonable camera for that period of time, not HD, but of 350p. And so the guy said, "Yeah, I would love to look at your footage." and he was willing to pay to do some of it, to transcribe it. But hell, you know, I had a friend named Fred Cook who said, do you know any place who might be able to transcribe it? He said, well, talk to this group, Berkeley Media Group, right? And okay, I called over. Yes, we can do that kind of stuff. I came over, put my membership down, and about 75 hours later, the machine broke. But it was on my last couple of tapes. So I've got all that stuff digitized, and what it is essentially a lot of incredible footage. I mean, getting into the animal life, feeding animals, which is illegal now, and getting close to very, very rare burrowing owls, and seeing a lot of things that people don't see when you actually get close to animals, because they get used to you. You're not completely alien, and if you get friendly, even wild animals will kind of come to know you. So that first phase was here. The second phase was to chop, 200 hours of digital video into little pieces, and that took another 3.5 weeks, and that's where my time ran out, and I'm kind of on a vacation for a while, and then I'm going to come back. And this guy, of course, wants a lot of this for historical purposes, and this is the Berkeley Cesar Chavez Conservancy, and they're putting that stuff online. So if you go up and find their website, he puts up new footage every week, and there's a lot of folks that love the animal life out there. So you can, if you like animal life, you can see it and then go for yourself to actually experience it on a break.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see your final cut or even little interstitial cuts whenever you're ready to start putting them up on the TV. Also, we're going to be getting you a new mini DV tape player. We just got to find one. We did get a donation recently or it's not right here, it's actually in the back. We need to install it this week, but of a variety of different tape types. So we now will have the option to digitize beta tapes, 3/4-inch U-matic tapes. We have a new VHS player that seems really fine condition. So, we'll have more of that digitization availability for folks. Yes. Cassettes. We'll look into the cassettes. Ned, make a note, cassette tapes. Also, to piggyback off what Melanie was saying, future studio plan. So on Monday, there's a meeting with an organization called the Community for a Cultural Civic Center, which is an organization of nonprofits and government entities. Actually, Visit Downtown is, I don't know if they're government, but it's a group of organizations that is interested in the beautification and renovation of the Civic Center. And included in that plan is the Ma Del Chirec building. Now, there's already architectural drawings that we've seen that has a new addition to this building going to be built. And BCM's new permanent home will be in that space. However, if that's 5 years or 50 years from now, we're not really sure, which is why the CCCC, or the Community for Cultural Civic Center, is getting together, and we want to kind of present that to the new mayor and the new city council of, hey, can we get you guys to commit to renovating this space and making our civic center beautiful? So fingers crossed we can get some movement on that. All right, but back to my report. So, part of being a nonprofit here in Berkeley means partnering up with other nonprofit agencies. And Berkeley is very fortunate that we have a significant number of nonprofits that service the community. We continue to work on our partnership with organizations such as the Dorothy Day House, the Women's Daytime Drop-In Center, the Bread Project, NAACP, and others of that nature. But we also try to foster new partnerships with folks. And some of those this year that have been of significance are the CIL, or the Center for Independent Living, out of the Ed Roberts campus. BORP, which is Bay Area Outreach and Recreation, which is also a nonprofit that services the disabled community out of the Ed Roberts campus. West Side to Berkeley, Berkeley's very own lowrider car club. Science at Cal, which took a long break, but now they're coming back and we're starting to shoot their content again. Cal Esports, which for those who don't know is just video games that they're trying to make into sports style. And most recently, and this is still in the very early stages, but EAT, which is Emotional Awareness Therapy, which is a program which is operating out of San Quentin. So we're in the talks with them to start helping them produce their own video content so that they can tell their own stories in their own voices. So that's just some of the stuff that Berkeley Community Media has been up to. Yeah, any questions about those? All right, without further ado, I want to bring up the man himself, Kadir. Yeah. Yeah, everyone cheer. Woo, Kadir.
Yeah, thanks for putting me on the spot. I appreciate it. Hi, for anybody who doesn't know who I am, I'm Kadir. I work with Ned. This is probably coming up on my second year at BCM. I've been a member, intern many years ago. I started out with, I don't know if you remember Mike. He was the education director, and he was in charge of the internship program, and that's how I first got involved with BCM. Now I am working as a tech guy with Ned, and liking it a lot. A little bit about my background. I've been an educator for a little over 30 years, teaching art to children and young adults, starting out in New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, upstate New York, Albany, and back when there wasn't cell phones and we had to paint with real paint, and we had to do video editing with 2 cassette tapes. So I come from that. Now, moving into the digital world, I'm trying to bring some of the new technology to BCM, which means, you know, everybody's familiar with the new AI that's taking over everything. Now we have AI in all the editing softwares, all of the Premieres, After Effects, Photoshop. I think just about every editing software, industry standard software, has some form of AI in it. And unfortunately, that's one of the things that we're going to start learning how to use. And for anyone who's interested, I'd like to help make that happen here. Because there's a lot of new technology going on out there. And I think we can offer that here as well to some of our members. So that's one of the things we're looking at bringing to BCM in the coming year. And what else? I think for me, yeah, I think that's what I do. I work to help bring new technology to the center. So, yeah, 3D modeling, 3D animation, virtual production, VR, that kind of stuff. I'd like to see some of that stuff happen here. Hopefully those of you who have no idea what it is, we can offer a class that will introduce that to you, and maybe I can be the person to bring that to you. So just next year, look for some of those things coming from us. And I think that's all I'm going to say right now.
Woo,
Thank you.
Kadir.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that was Kadir. Thank you, Kadir. And yeah, you should see some of the interesting stuff that he's doing with Unreal Engine. He was showing me he had a camera set up on the computer, and you would be talking and moving your head, and then a model that looked completely different from you, just a completely other human person was doing the exact same things, but it was a computer-generated thing. So yeah, some really interesting stuff. Also, I think he's had like a toilet model spewing tacos or something. I don't know. All right. Yeah. All right, next up. Membership. So we've actually had an uptick in our members over the last year compared to last year. We have 24% more members, many of those being youth and interns from both Berkeley High School, Berkeley City College, SF State, and Cal. So there's been a lot of folks, and it's really interesting because it's one person will find out about us, and then we'll bring in their class to work on a project here, and then we'll get a whole bunch of new members right there. And just for folks who may or may not know, there's special prices for membership. If you're a student or if you're a senior, it's $35 a year compared to $60 a year for residents or $120 a year for non-residents. So very affordable for all the facilities that are available to you for being a member. Okay, and that's pretty much it for membership. Next up for my staff report, I got Ned. Ned, you ready? I'll take that computer from you.
Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out. My name is Ned Pollock, and I am the Facilities Access Technician here, which basically means I'm the equipment person. I'm in charge of maintenance and inventory and everything of all the stuff that we have here. Just passed a year and 2 months, which is how long I've been here. And it's been quite a year. A lot of intensity, a lot of stuff going on. And I don't have too much really to say at this point. We have a lot of irons in the fire and a lot of goals that we're going to try and meet over the next year, both in terms of acquiring new equipment, reorganizing the physical space, reorganizing our computer network, make things easier for people to check out equipment and check equipment back in. And I can't wait for all that to happen. That'll make my job so much easier. Yeah, so I'm just here to try and facilitate people's projects, trying to make everything work as smoothly as possible. And I hope that everyone is satisfied with the job that I've been doing. Sorry, David, that's really about all I have to say. What? Well, the old equipment or the new equipment? Okay, no, we have a selection of video, and we have a couple of still cameras. The video cameras are two different Sony models, which are 4K, which means that it records better than high definition. We have a selection of decent microphones, both shotgun and vocal microphones like this. We have LED and incandescent lighting systems, so we have both the old and the new in terms of lighting. We have our Green Cove, which I hope later on people can go and take a look at, where we can record people doing interviews, and then you can put in any background that you want. So we do a lot of work back there. And I think equipment-wise, I think that's about it off the top of my head. So anyway, yeah, that's about all I have to say. Thanks for your attention. Oh, yes, Duran. The Sony cameras we have right now we have the smaller Sony Z90s, and if you take a look around the room, you can see these are the ones that we're using for this right now. We also have two of the Sony FS5s. The FS5 is a more sophisticated camera, and the big advantage of the FS5 over these cameras that we have in here is that you can switch lenses. And we have a selection of lenses, 35 millimeter, 50 millimeter, 85 millimeter, and then a 100 to 400 zoom lens. So those are the cameras. We also have a 60D DSLR, which is the thing that looks like a still camera, but you can also record video on that. So those are the ones that we have. Any other questions? Okay, thanks very much.
All right, and here I come back. Yeah, so like Ned was mentioning, we are working on a capital purchase, which we're going to be sending to the city saying, hey, please give us some more money so we can get some new things. And that includes some updated computers because, as most people will know, there's something called planned obsolescence, which is baked into a lot of the computers. So they can't last quite as long as we'd like them to. So we're probably going to be getting a few new computers in here in the next year, some more of these Sony P90Zs. We do have one pretty beefy camera also on there, which is the DJI 6D. We're not quite sure if we're going to get that one quite yet because it's like a $10,000 camera. But if we do get it, just think about all the amazing footage that you could get with that particular camera for your own pieces. Okay, yes, question.
A couple of new accounts we have, like the Women's Daytime Drop-In Center and the Shotgun.
Yeah, so those are some of our nonprofit partners. So like Winston was saying, Women's Daytime Drop-In Center is a nonprofit on 9th Street. Yeah, where women and children can drop in during the day to have a safe space. Or Acton Street, is it? It's like a 9th and Acton. Yeah, but it's run by someone named Leslie Berkler, and she and her whole crew are just amazing. We've worked with them doing PSAs, fund drives for them, and things of that nature. And I think we're actually talking to Leslie about doing a short-form documentary about their organization this coming year. So yeah, they're a great organization. Then additionally, the Shotgun Players, which are on Ashby in Sacramento. It's that theater, if in case you've driven by. It's right across from Ashby Bart. Yes, question. Ashby and MLK. You're absolutely right. Sorry, I had my cross streets wrong. They're a nonprofit independent theater, and we've been helping them out doing live streams of some of their licensed shows. So that's helped them garner revenue. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Garner revenue for their own organization. So we do special pricing for nonprofit organizations. So if you know of a nonprofit who needs help with video, live streaming, or anything of that nature, or producing their own PSAs, please do tell them about us. We'll work with them and help them make their thing. Yes, Durant.
I was wondering if you're familiar at all with the Rainin Foundation. The Rainin Foundation gives money to filmmakers. And it should, yeah. If you give me your email, I'll send you one of their. Yeah, they have a special program too for filmmakers.
Okay.
You know, like an internship, and yeah, they mentor them and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so you guys should know about the Rainin Foundation. They should give you guys money.
I will reach out to them. Yes, please do send me that info. Because for a lot of our projects, it's funded through grants for things that have a specific project associated with it. For example, the documentary we did on the Dorothy Day House, that was completely funded by a UC Berkeley Chancellor's Fund grant. So, you know, any kind of grants folks hear about or know about, please do send them our way. Even we've been sending it to something we started doing last year, and we've done a couple of times as well this year, is, you know, BCM's a 501c3 nonprofit, which a lot of grants require that tax status to apply for. And we'll be a fiscal sponsor for local filmmakers or artists if they find a grant that they can apply for that deals with some of the works that they're doing. They can use us to apply for that for it, and we'll give them the funds. So please tell your friends. Yes, Madeline. Yes, come up to the mic.
I just wanted to mention that the other thing that we've been doing this year has been pretty successful, which is Community Club. And it's a chance for people to come and show their works in progress and get help from other people who might have skills, or if they want to lend their help to other people. And it's the third Wednesday of every month, and it happens to be next Wednesday. It's the 18th. Is that already next Wednesday? Wow, time is flying. Not tomorrow, but not this week, but next week. So, and then if anybody has any things that they would like to see happen at BCM, any other classes that they would like to have taught, or if they themselves have something that they want to offer, that's the other thing, is you want to just contact me or David and let us know, and we'll facilitate. And if a class is not being offered that you want to take, and you have at least a couple of friends, and you want to just jump in, and we'll teach it for you. It's like we're very flexible and malleable for your needs. So look for the schedule. We'll keep.
Yep. We're
keep
here
giving
for
us
you.
your ideas. We're here for you.
Yeah. Don't just watch TV. Be TV. All right, we're coming up to the end of my report. One of the really interesting and fun things that we got to do this year was BCM was on the news twice. And that was all in large part to Miss Sally Baker over here. She just had her 40-year anniversary for We Poets, and she was honored, and she brought in the news crews to show them where we were filming at, and it was really cool to see. So we're so proud of our media producers who just keep it going and keep on doing it. Okay, let's see. We have 2 last staff reports, and then we'll open up the mic to anyone who'd like to say a few words from our board members or any of the folks in here. So for those, we're going to go over to our computer. Okay, let's see. Hey, you guys still on Zoom land over here? Okay. For those folks who do not know, these are some of our board members. We have Ms. Helen Walsh, Ms. Becky Jo Benson, and Mr. Ken Osborne. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to share my screen with you all so you can, actually before I do that, let me, oh, no, don't end the meeting. Let me cancel this. I need to start. Sorry, one sec. I should have had this pulled up. Okay, here's one. All right.
Oh, hi.
Let me pause that. Stand by. Let me share it to Zoom so you all can see it too. Okay, cool. We'll share that. All right, you should be able to see this now. Let me make this full screen, and let me get this out of the way, and this out of the way. Okay, here we go.
Brian Scott, Programming Coordinator for Berkeley Community Media. I'm here to give you your yearly programming report to let you know what's been going on over the past year in the programming department. First of all, we have a lot of new shows from UCTV and from the Internet Archive, but we've also got a lot of new programming coming in, including some little interstitials that go in between the programs, maybe 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes. Very simple to put together. So if you're out on the street, you want to do a little video about how great it is to be a Berkeleyan, or if you meet a tourist on the street, you want to ask them what they think. If you see some construction, you want to take some video and let people know what's going on in the city. Anything that you want to put in, even if it's just some beauty shots of this wonderful, wonderful city, then send it in. All you have to do is find a Dropbox or a Hightail or some other kind of cloud storage. Send me the link to programming@betv.org, and I will download it and I'll put it on the air. Also, of course, we're always looking for content that's created by Berkeley residents. So if you have a 28-minute show, it doesn't matter what it's about or anything, we'll always be able to put it on the air. But what I'd like to do right now is get into some of the new programming that we've got. So one of the things that we've got is, let's see here, we've got, A Christmas Carol Goes Wrong. So this is a program, it's a TV show or a little movie about a Christmas Carol that kind of goes all screwy. So this is for the Christmas season. We've also had some really great programming from Halloween. We've got A Christmas Carol, the original Christmas Carol, which is really fun to watch. Black and white, very, very good program with a lot of really good acting, so you can watch that. One of my favorites is the Liberace Christmas from 1954. This is definitely a blast back to the past, a lot of fun to watch. Then we've got some other really interesting new shows like Monkey Magic, which I had never heard of, but it's a program that comes out of Japan. We've got programs, we've got like Alfred Hitchcock Presents. We've got some more of those. We've been airing those before, but we have a whole new slew of them. We've got Dragnet, Lights Out, Land of the Lost, which is a program from the 60s, which is a whole lot of fun because it's very funny to watch things, especially with the advancements in special effects, because this is supposed to take place in a prehistoric world. So it's a really fun show to watch. And of course we've got a lot of the new cartoons. So we have a little block for on Saturday morning, just like we all used to experience if you're a little bit older. I'm sure they still have Saturday morning cartoons, but we've got a little block of Saturday morning cartoons. We've got some new ones, Spider-Man, some more Spider-Man, Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy.
Adam Ant, Quick Draw McGraw, Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo movie, Hong Kong Phooey, and so there's all the other programming that we've been running before. We've got new episodes of it, The Twilight Zone, Lights Out, and we've also got a lot of programming from UCTV. So these are programs that are educational, entertainment. Some of it's entertainment, like we've got Dance and Health, which is a program that kind of gives you an idea of how dance helps our health. We've got the CBS Summer Playhouse, a couple of movies from there. Improv shows where they're showing you how to do improv, and then also just some funny improv shows. Orchestra performances, chorale performances, opera. We've got a show that kind of gives you a very rudimentary idea of how to use a computer called Computer Kindergarten. We've got how democratic is the Constitution, which I think is very timely for right now. It's a really great show. We've got One Step Beyond. We've, of course, handled all of the candidate forums this last year for the election. We do that every single year. So right before election time, definitely check out BETV so that you can see what's going on in politics. And we've got a new show called On the Air with Amber Wynn, which is kind of a talk show. And we've got, of course, the KPFA news program. We've got that airing several times a day, so you can actually catch up on the last few days of what's happened. So you'll get the today or maybe yesterday's KPF news, and then the previous 4 or 5 episodes as well. And then we've also got a really neat new show called A Captain's Log, which is a talk show about the Star Trek universe. So we got some really great shows on. Definitely watch us. You can not only watch us on Comcast Cable 28, you can also watch us online. Very easy. Just go to betv.org and click on the live video. You'll be able to watch the station from anywhere in the world live. So that means if you put a show on the air, you can send the link to your friend in Australia or Sweden or Japan or wherever you want, and they'll be able to watch the show as well. So this is Brian Scott, Programming Coordinator for Berkeley Community Media, and I am signing off. Have a great meeting.
Alrighty, let me get back up here. All right, we have one other report. Stand by. So let me stop sharing that. Let me open up this one. And bringing it up for the close, we have our man Don. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. We're going to share this one, and let's make it full screen for folks. Here we go. Don.
Hi, I'm Don Bauer. I am the person responsible for the finance and operations at BCM. We are looking back on fiscal year 2024, which ended this past June 30th, and I'm here to report some positive results. BCM stayed on budget. We finished the year with a bit of a surplus, modest, but a surplus nonetheless. And that money can go into savings until we need it for some unexpected expense, which will almost certainly come about at some point. I am the purchasing agent for BCM, and that is mainly just keeping BCM stocked with necessary items, memory cards, hard drives, coffee, water, and office supplies. But on the other hand, something I do like doing is buying new equipment for BCM and for our members. And we recently got to do some of that with the money that our benefactor, the City of Berkeley, gives us for exactly that purpose. We purchased a new wireless mic system, a nifty new Osmo 4K camera kit, a 4-person wireless intercom system, and a new projector to help us out with our film festivals and other BCM events. which we have fairly regularly. I always just enjoy buying new equipment a whole lot more than buying memory cards and office supplies. That's just me. Finally, I want to touch upon the annual audit, which was recently concluded. We are mandated by our contract with the City of Berkeley to have an outside auditor do an audit every year. It's now wrapped up. All the financials looked good. There was nothing unusual or unexpected in the audit. And we're done for another year, I'm happy to say. And my little talk is done as well. Thank you all for listening.
Woo, Don! All right, everyone loves Don. Okay, let me take that back. All right, and that is, that is all the stuff I had on the list of things to report. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? Also, we have an open mic here if anyone would like to say any words. All right. Hey, we got Mr. Harold Adler. Come on up.
So I've been a member of BCM since the beginning, since day one, I think, because it was somebody, this man had a porta-pack or some kind of a camera in a portable building down by the waterfront in Berkeley. I don't remember where, because it was like, maybe 30 years ago whenever BCM, maybe before BCM became BCM. I think this guy might have been a forerunner to becoming BCM. It happened years later. But anyway, I worked in film production a long time, and I've learned a few things. But the thing is now, I just kind of give a statement to how much I love BCM and how much they've done for me and my business. I run an art house, gallery, and culture center. I've been there since 2009. It's a wonderful business. I have live music shows there. I have art, Poetry Flash has their readings there a lot. And I sell art and I sell books and vinyl. But the point I'm trying to make is, and the reasons I love BCM, and what, I want to make some comments on what I think could happen or should happen in 2025. Some of the things have been touched on already. I'm glad we're partnering ship with KPFA, because KPFA has been around a long, long time. They're a radio station, but we're a television station. So we can, I'm not saying we're competing with KPFA, but on parallel lines, we can do incredible things. We're as a television station as opposed to a radio station. We can take issues, political issues, and show both sides. So somebody could have a program here where they talk about what's going on in the community politically, both sides of the issue. People can also have, I used to work at a radio station. It was called two-way radio, where people called in about different topics. We'd have a different I was a switchboard operator, so it was down in Jacqueline Square. And so people called in and talked about, let's say we were to talk about Social Security. So people call in and talk about Social Security. That can be done now with the technology we have. People can call in. We can have somebody here and put them on a screen. They can talk about the issue that the topic of the issue. That can be done. So like I'm saying, we can have a program, there's something on TV called Hot Topics, where we can do a kind of a parallel Hot Topics show where we talk about a certain issue going on in the community, and people can call in and talk about how they feel about that issue. See, these are things we're not really doing, but we could do. And I think it'd be incredible to bring a community in on a certain issue, pro and con, whatever. And we can do that. So that's one thing I think would be wonderful to happen in 2025. We also do have a calendar of arts events, which I think we're doing, so different arts communities can put their kind of a bulletin board, kind of a revolving bulletin board of what's going on in the community in terms of the art culture. But there's a lot of other things that can be done in that same genre, either weekly or monthly or whatever. So basically, I think for us now, the sky's the limit. There's no limit, because we are now a world organization, because everything we put on, the whole world can see. That wasn't the case 20, 30 years ago. But now we have that technology to show the whole world and communicate with the whole world on different issues, which is fantastic. It's not the future, it's now. But I think we have to start utilizing this technology better than we're using it, because we can bring the whole world in on certain topics to talk about not just homelessness, but IA and technology and different issues that affect us as a community. So it's a world organization. I think of BCM as a world organization, not just Berkeley, but the whole world. So now, the final thing I have to say is the whole world is watching. Thank you.
Would anyone on our Zoom land like to say a few words? All right, Helen, go for it. Just unmute yourself.
Well, hi, I just want to thank everybody for joining us. I wanted to thank BCM for always keeping accommodations available for persons with disabilities that are part of BCM. I wanted to put out often what I do as a board member is I help with consulting in terms of accessibility and ways to make media more accessible to persons in the community. And I just want to put that out to everybody, that people that do decide to produce or are working on programs, you're always welcome to contact me through David, and I'm more than happy to help out with those areas. I do that on a national level in the disability community, and more than happy to assist our community members here. I can't wait to see what the community produces this year. I'm excited to hear Brian announce the interstitials. That gives you an opportunity to work on shorts or just enjoyable things that you like in the community to share between programming. So that was really exciting to hear. And I'm hoping that we go into 25 and we support each other in creating the possibility for more production. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Helen. Becky, Joe, or Ken, y'all want to add something? If not, we have a special guest in the house. No? Okay. I'd like to invite up our District 5 City Council member, Igor, or District 4, I'm sorry, I was one off. I'm giving you an extra number. Mr. Igor Tregub.
Yay!
Well, thank you so. Hey, brother. Good to see you. How you doing? Well, I am actually going to be brief because I think I am the last thing standing between you and more libations. So I just wanted to say thank you for bringing democracy in all of its shapes and forms to the Berkeley community for so many reasons, for so many years. Thank you for always ensuring that the decisions that we make, that other public bodies make, that they're broadcast live to the community. Thank you for providing access to the community in so many ways. And you're all very special to me. And I can't wait to see what you do next in the next 30 more years and beyond that. So thank you.
Always love seeing our locally elected officials out here being part of the community. All right, let's see. So with that, I think that concludes our annual member meeting, unless someone has any words they'd like to share. The stage is open. If not, I think all we need is some input from one of the board members to make a motion to end the meeting.
I motion to end the meeting.
All right. Any seconds? We got a second over here. All right. With
I
that,
second the motion.
all right. Well, with
I
that,
second the motion.
wish
Yes.
everybody a happy 2025. You know, community is more important now than ever in the world, and you know, I can't wait to see what y'all produce this next year. All right. Cheers, y'all.